I'm not sure if you like Eminem. I don't know if you like Neil Young, John Fogerty, CCR, Credence Clearwater. Clearwater? I believe that's the actual original name. It was Credence Clearwater uh, Revival. Pretty sure. Most people don't know that. It wasn't, I didn't mispronounce anything. That was just I was thinking of the original name. Credence Clearwater Revival. I'm not sure if you like CCR, Little Proud Mary. Maybe you didn't like Proud Mary. Or Jack White. But all these artists are in the news because they hate Trump. I just couldn't imagine listening to someone knowing that that person would despise the choices I've made in my life. By, if I was a maggot. I call those people maggots because they support Trump no matter what. They don't care if he has photos like this out. They just don't care. They're like, ooh, that photo? Cool. Let me vote for that guy. But we're going to get into it. It's all over the news. Thank you. Thank you. Hold the applause till the end, please. Stop, please. I'm Rob. This is the live stream. We do newsmentary. We joke about the news because the news, I don't know if you heard the news lately, it's a joke. We're going to talk about do not buy bananas. Don't. Especially Chiquita bananas. Don't buy any Chiquita bananas. Are there any other kinds of bananas? I don't know. I don't eat bananas. To me, they taste like what a sneeze smells like, so I don't like bananas. I'm kind of gross. What else? What else is in the news? The banana thing. Oh, if you want to know how, if your Taco Bell has an AI drive-through, we've got a secret life hack, how to crash it. That was in the news, how a guy crashed the Taco Bell AI drive-through. I mean, just do it for fun. Why not? It's just fun. It's just fun. That's all it is, They're like, hey, we're going to replace all your jobs with robots. And I say, awesome. Can you do it sooner, please? And can we just have universal basic income? Let the robots do all the work. Who gives a shit? Grind culture is dumb. And for the people who want to work alongside the robots like a robot, you can do that. We're not going to stop you. Stop. We get it. You work so hard. Oh, it's not a flex. God, your family must hate you. But, like if they're going to replace you with robots, why not test the robot's might? You're actually working out the kinks and the bugs for the company. So we're going to talk about that. How a guy crashed the Taco Bell AI drive-thru. Free Luigi's in the news. Very, very sneaky story. I'm going to give you a different perspective than ABC gives you. Was it ABC? Yeah, it was. And then, oh yeah, Trump's lowest approval rating yet. And a coordinated story, the UBS. I don't know what that is. Do they deliver stuff? I'm pretty sure UBS delivers. What can Browntown do for you? UBS. I could be wrong on what that means. Maybe it's a different company. But the Swiss bank, UBS, said on Thursday, with the fortunes inherited by the newly minted super rich exceeding cash generated by self-made billionaires for the first time in years. So it exceeded the cash generated by self-made billionaires. No billionaires self-made, number one. So UBS, the Swiss bank, you're wrong. But what that story means, and we're going to talk about it, is that we have more Nepo babies. More people became billionaires because they inherited that wealth, just like this guy. He's a Nepo baby. He inherited his wealth. Fred Trump, his papu, I believe he called him papu, or he might have. I don't know. It's up to you to decide, really. Please, hold the applause till the end. But this guy, his papu, his poo-poo, maybe he called him poo-poo. Poo-poo Trump? Poo-poo Fred? Chasing him around, just saying, can I just please have one hug? One hug, and I will not be the human I am. I just need one hug, and I will not act like that. You could tell he didn't get hugged by his dad, because look at how he's treating his kids. He's like, my dad didn't hug me. How do you like tongue in your ear? He's gross, and people voted for him. This is real life. Is it? Is it though? But yeah, he's a Nepo baby, and Fred Trump gave him everything he has. How do you think he afforded this luxurious lifestyle where he's, why would you pose like that? You know, was this at Sears? Do you remember Sears? Used to be a store before private equity ruined America, and you could go and buy like a lawnmower. Sears, you could get a washer, you could get your dungarees there, and you could probably do family photos. They might even have like a all-you-can-eat buffet. I don't really remember. So long ago, we used to have Sears and Kmart in America. Oh, banditos. Banditos. Good to see you, banditos. Mama Bear. All the bananas I have bought lately, organic or not, look great on the outside and are half rotted brown on the inside. Mama Bear, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't. Number one, don't buy from Subway, but look at this street art. We're going to get into the meme news. I like to do the meme news, but I'm going to check the comments and say hello to some people.
Say what?
That's right, I'm going to say hello to some people.
Say what?
Hello. Stop doing that. All right, let's see who's here. Bandito's here. Zeke the Beast. Michael O, good to see you. Hey, YouTube actually let me know you were on before the live was over. Nice. The picture is so creepy. Dungarees. Oh, Jesus. I saw your caption. Subbed. Thank you for subbing. Hey, Boston, you got that radio sound. There you go.
Say what?
He said I had the radio sound.
Say what?
The radio sound.
Say what?
Will you please cut that out? Please, hold your applause till the end. That means it's time to switch topics. So that's some of the news. We're going to get into it. By the way, I'm Rob. I made a little image for our thing here. Hold on. Let me get to the image I made. I'm Rob, and this is the Rob Hood Vision Quest. Sleep all day, Vision Quest all night. I think the Joe Rogan program. I've been watching a lot of Elephant Graveyard, and if you haven't seen it, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, go to my community, and I've shared it maybe a few times. I don't remember. The weeks blur together. But it's so funny how in Joe Rogan's beginning of his podcast, it says something like, train all day, Joe Rogan all night, which I don't know what that means. It sounds very creepy. In the theme of America right now, very creepy. But I thought I would, well, there's going to be people that come in later and don't understand this, but I thought I'd make fun of it. So, sleep all day, Vision Quest all night. Welcome to the Rob Hood Vision Quest, where we're just asking questions, man. And we do news commentary. We're going to talk about the news. And I am your official vibe guru, because some of your vibes are off. Most of the leftists that are in here, the radical woke mob, your vibes are fine. I know, you guys are good. But some of you Republitards, your vibes are off. And we're going to fix that for you. Oh, did you see this in the news too? We're going to go around that. We're going to talk about this too, because I talked about how they don't have money to feed hungry kids or house the homeless, but they certainly can waste it on sending the National Guard into the cities to clean up trash instead of, do anything else. And now that $1.2 billion Army contract to build a huge detention tent, you really need $2 billion to build a detention tent in Texas, has a lot of questions surrounding it. So we'll get into that. But let's do some meme news. The meme, news, meme, news. I got to come up with stuff. I got to come up with some songs. I wish I could come up with some songs. Oh, here we go. Speaking of the Joe Graham, Rojogan. The Joe Graham, he says, endorsing Trump might seem like a mistake after seeing ICE raids spiral out of control. Oh, it turns out he's a fucking moron and no one should listen to him. Okay, interesting. There's your meme news. No sides here, both wings of the same bird to me. Mama Bear, solidarity. That's correct. Not a Democrat, not a Republican. There's going to be more people coming in here saying liberal tears, Democrat, Kamala, and just so you know, treat politicians, act accordingly with politicians, people. They are useful idiots. Donald Trump is a useful idiot for Putin, Ghislaine Maxwell, all these Joe Rogan. Well, no, Trump actually used Joe Rogan as a useful idiot. And his little Joe Rogosphere, the Rogosphere, the Joegram and the Rogosphere. They're all useful idiots. And I say treat the politicians like that. Get them there and then hold their feet to the fire. Use them for our means. Don't let them use us for theirs, which they are. Breaking. Joe Rogan is gullible, folks. He is a moron. He is compromised. Joe Rogan officially breaking. Joe Rogan is compromised.
Say what?
I said Joe Rogan is compromised.
Say what?
That is right. I know. Joe Rogie. Old Rogie. He's compromised. He's now state-backed media. Donald Trump called him and said, Joe, I need you to be quiet about those Epstein files. And the Joe Graham said, sir, we will say no more. Your secrets are safe with us. It's not breaking news that no one ever pinned Rogan as a smart guy. That is true. We're having a little fun. Trump released the files, the PHILES. That is clever, and I like that. Release the files. That is funny, Bandito. So your tax dollars hard at mysteriously not working. Let's talk about this real quick because this is horrifying. Now, this story I want to show you actually. I should do it. Let's go into our segment before we get into the meme news. Have you even said thank you? Your tax dollars, 1.2 billion of them, that's supposed to build a detention camp to keep all the Home Depot parking lot workers in. I don't know. What else are they rating now? Plays. This money, I got to show you. There were bidders, over a dozen bidders to build a massive temp fort. And at least one competitor has filed a complaint because you're never going to believe the guy who won the bid to get this fort. Hold on, where is it? This is his house. This home, suburb of Virginia Richmond, is listed as the headquarters of Acquisition Logistics, LLC, a small business that won the $1.2 billion contract. Pete Hegseth approved using Fort Bliss for the detention center, and the administration hopes to build more. But this is the headquarters. This is the business that won that $1.2 billion contract. Does this look like a business to you? What is it, a Zoom business? Do we think there's some shenanigans going on? I mean, it sounds like if you're getting a $1.2 billion business, I'm guessing this person maybe knows somebody. How did you outbid everybody else to build a tent? I mean, they are building a tent again. They're just going to build a big tent, and they're going to use almost $1.5 billion of our taxpayer money. They're throwing it at the wind. They're throwing it to this guy's house. They said, here you go, $1.2 billion. Go build us a tent in Texas. So have you even said thank you? Have you? Because that is your tax dollars at work. That's why they probably had to raise your taxes, because they're like, this guy, whoever lives here, needs $1.2 billion to build a tent fort to keep all the Home Depot workers at, against their will with no due process, for not crimes. Fuck, we're doomed. Have you even said thank you to this guy? He bragged about getting Donald Trump elected. Have you? Have you even said thank you? But let's look at some meme news. I'm going to show you this. I don't know if I learned something new today. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Somebody said we don't do learning here, but we did. Look at this. Back in 1968, a fake motorcycle cop stopped a bank vehicle carrying 300 million yen in cash, the equivalent of 10 million US dollars today. Told the driver to run because the car was rigged to blow. Then he simply got on the car and drove away. The culprit and cash have never been found. Back in the 60s, before Palantir, you could pull off heists like this. I mean, nowadays with Palantir, with all the small government libertarians, but they want big corporate, big brother of corporations to watch over us and track our every move with the CIA and every other fucking ABCDEFG, the alphabet boys, all the other alphabet boys. It's remarkable that people don't understand what they're signing up for. But, you know, not everybody can use their brain to think. Let's go to this, a little Eugene's Debs. I am opposing a social order which is possible for one man who does absolutely nothing that is useful to amass a fortune of hundreds of millions of dollars, while millions of men and women who work all the days of their lives secure barely enough for a wretched existence. It's so funny, because you would think that most Americans hum this tune, whatever tune this is. We're all humming this tune, but some people think a Nepo Baby, billionaire, CEO, coastal elite, orange, gold-plated turd is the one that's gonna, you know, do something for them. People are hilarious. Hilarious and sad. And this is the story we're gonna get into. This was the UBS. Turns out billionaires aren't self-made. They're made by mommy and daddy. More billionaires inherited their wealth today than just created it. And by created it, we mean exploitation. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I'm your guru coach on the vision quest we're going on. Vision quest of the news. Okay? Ooh, we got to get to, what is it called? What is it called? We got to get to the artists that hate Trump. Okay? That is hot. I don't know if you guys know who Eminem is. M&M, it stands for Marshall Mathers. He's a hip-hop legend. He did a song for Venom and Godzilla. He might have done a couple others. Eminem. You should look him up. Google him. He's pretty good. And he had some words about Trump. Let's hear. What do you want to say, Eminem?
Start talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated. Watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, you know, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life? I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit, there's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening.
And nothing has happened. Nothing has gotten better. In fact, it's only taken him like 9 months now to make things exceedingly worse. You just saw the story I talked about, $1.2 billion won by a contract in a small home in suburban Virginia. That guy's going to build a prison tent, $1.2 billion taxpayer dollars, when we should be using that to, you know, fund healthcare for people. But his concepts of a healthcare plan were to kick people off of it. My Christ. So that was Eminem, better known as Marshall Mathers. He's a hip-hop icon, a rap god, rap devil, whichever you prefer. And those were his thoughts on Trump. When he talked about, like, when I start talking about Trump, I get flustered. I wanted to sit with him, sit across from him and say, you should write a rhyme about it. You're very good with the rhymes, and that's what you should do. You know, when I get all flustered, I write a haiku. So yeah, and welcome. I saw somebody say vibe guru, and I said, yes, I'm 100% serious. I'm your vibe guru. And it's most of you people who support, let me show you some pictures. Most of you people who support guys like this, the guy that was never hugged by his dad, so he goes out of his way to, I don't know, is he sticking his tongue in his daughter's ear? Well, I don't know what the fuck he's doing there, but you guys need vibe coaching. You really need deprogramming, but this is YouTube. It's for free, so Jesus, lay off, pal. The people who support this guy, look at that face. Look at that face. What does that face say? I don't know, but we should do a caption contest. What does that face say? Who's he on the phone with? Jeff Epstein? We know they were good friends at the time. Good friends at the time. In fact, he brought his kids around Epstein. Interesting. Just release the files. Frank Grimes. You can't hear a haiku. Maybe I should start a club or something, a Patreon. You can buy all my haikus because I have to come up with them because that was a joke. But I do like haikus. I don't know if you write. PSA, ICE comments can and will be under racist scrutiny. Yes, they will be. What was this? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this. Look at this, 1985. I wish America had this kind of Swedish woman spirit, or at least Swedish chef spirit. I found this on the Reddits. They call it the front page of the internet. A wonderful machine we have, that internet. 1985, Swedish woman strikes a new Nazi with her handbag. Her parents survived concentration camp. Look at this. That's one of a few appropriate ways to treat these asshats that walk through our streets like our grandparents didn't fight them into submission. Oh, gross. But yeah. Solidarity, don't know who that is, but power to that lady. I see we have some Trump people in the comments. Just like to show you more pictures of your God. Why doesn't he make a non-fungible token of this photo? Or maybe you could do an NFT of this one. It's weird that, this guy that you worship did an NFT with his head. He photoshopped his head out and then put Rambo's body in there, or like a firefighter or someone who does something useful for a living. He put their bodies there, and he just like cut out his head. He even cut his daughter's head out. What the heck? He did this. And I say, just make this an NFT. Are we still making NFTs? Does anybody know if we're making NFTs, or did everybody make all their money off of it and it's done? Does anybody have an NFT? I don't. I'll sell you one. But I do them IRL. I do IRL NFTs, so it's actually just a drawing. I could just take a photo of it and text it to you, though. That could be an NFT. But are we making NFTs? Because here's my nomination. Everyone nominate what you think this month's NFT should be. And then I believe Gary V. Is he still trying to take people's money for those things? I don't know if Gary V's doing it. Gary V, I know you watch, so hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Actually, no, Gary V, please don't subscribe. I don't like your kind, those grifters. But this is the nomination for NFTing. What else do we got here? Oh, let's go through some great street art. Here we go. What is this? I think this is in Utah. It says, no troops in U.S. cities, no soldiers in U.S. streets. Solidarity with you. Oh, this is some news we're going to get to later. Please don't peek. 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 Thank you. Newsom. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Let's get to a couple more memes, and then we'll hit the news. Where is the Newsoms? Where is it? Here we go. Here's a Newsoms. We got a new name just dropped for old vice president. Just Dance Vance. That's a good one. You got to give it to his team of people. Just Dance Vance? Holy. I mean, if you just threw in like Couch Effer or something too. Just Dance, Couch Effer, Vance. Just Dance Vance is so good. Who nobody liked until Trump picked him out of the bargain bin in the Walmart clearance section. Went on Fox to trash me. Gavin C. Newsom, America's most popular governor. The dancing queen can't stop. I live rent-free in his head. Very tiny space, almost no room with the couch. Oh, he did the couch. Good on him. He is very weak. The guy can't run, takes more vacations than any other vice president in history, and we've had some lazy ones. Got caught taking photos in the bathroom, very sick, after applying his eyeliner, and wears a communist red shirt. Perfect, since Chairman Trump now owns Intel and tells him what to wear. Why does Why does Fox air this nonsense? They edit the tapes and they try to make him look smart, but he's a total joke. Fox should be ashamed. Stop giving airtime to a total loser. His time would be spent better practicing his soon debut on Dancing with the Stars. Everyone's laughing at him. Holy crap. Yo, this is how you handle these punks. And we know there's psychos in here that are like, I don't care. I don't care about the Epstein files anymore. I only cared because I thought Bill Clinton was going to get in trouble. They're like, I don't care. I love this photo. Jimmy, whatever, Jimmy's, whatever your now his name is. We know you have this framed above your bed, and every night you go to bed and you kiss it. You go smooch, smooch. It's funny, man. Some of you people, very, very sad. Very sad. You're not bringing your best, let me tell you. Francis, hi. I've been missing your lives because, oh, your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. But why did it hit both? Happy birthday. Keep applauding for her birthday. Don't you stop. It's her birthday. Good to see you. Good to see Bandito, Mama Bear, Cheeto Cankles. There we go. There are no innocent people on this planet. Yeah, that's one way to put it, Sherry. The person who told a white lie, and then this guy who fucking is defending and hiding his files and releasing his best friend into a no security prison. Yeah, I'm sure those are the same kind of people. Keep telling yourself whatever you gotta tell yourself, but it ain't working. It ain't working. One day. Hey, from Seattle. What's up, Seattle? Corey Burke. Good to see you, Seattle. The Mecca of grunge. The grunge Mecca. The Greca. The Greca. We didn't call it that, ever. I'm sorry I did that. Go to Nirvana's house, Kurt Cobain's house. I want to go there. But yeah, guys, there's going to be people in the chat, and just ignore them. They're going to say stuff like, I still love him. I love him so much. I don't care that he's horrible for our planet and our communities, and he's releasing these PDF files into the wild. I don't care. I need to own the libs. That's their rally cry. Hold on. Where is the other one? My apologies. I have another Newsom tweet that I got to find. Is this it? There we go. This was one of his latest. Old Newsom press office. I, Gavin C. Newsom, the most successful governor in American history, hereby demand that Canada gift me a big, beautiful plane. I get to keep it after I leave the office, if I leave. If their new prime minister, very nice guy, but not as handsome as Trudeau, does not send me a plane, California will impose the biggest tariffs he has ever seen as my God-given right. Many people are saying Governor Gavin Newsom deserves the best plane, even better than Air Force One. I agree. Send the big plane. Prime Minister Carney, I deserve it. Thank you, GCN. Welcome, I'm Rob. We do some meme news. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. My Christ, we're going on a vision quest. This is like, everybody said the left needs a Joe Rogan experience, the Joe-gram, the Rojogans. And I say, no, we don't. We just need someone who's not going to be a bootlicker for the FBI, who's not going to get compromised by Palantir's Peter Thiel. Thiel with it, okay? And I'm that guy. I'm not compromised. Uncompromising, as they say. So let me take you on a vision quest every weekday, sometimes on the weekends. Shh. Sometimes I even hold church on Sundays. It's a beautiful mass. I am an ordained reverend. Deal with it, maggots. And then we're going to talk about the news in a minute. Oh, we listened to some rubber band tight, son. I don't know what that means. Is that like skibbity rizma? Are you an alpha beta cuck? Are you one of these people that needs a skibbity riz? I don't understand your youth language, but I appreciate it. So we heard from Eminem saying, Trump has suckered these people. Eminem said he's brainwashed them. They think that a billionaire has something in common with them. They think they're trusting a billionaire, a corporate elite CEO from many failed businesses, Nepo Baby, who inherited his whole wealth. They think that guy like can relate to them. And Eminem clearly sees through it, but there's more people like John Fogerty. I don't know if you like CCR, but they had some good tunes. They did. And here, the CCR frontman says POTUS doesn't realize he's the person I'm screaming about in the song on all 3 counts. And the song he's talking about is Fortunate Son. Hold on. Oh, gross. That was you. I have the lyrics. We're going to look at the lyrics. Now look at this. If you've never seen the Fortunate Son lyrics, I want you to check this out. You know, all the fodder at the beginning. It ain't me, I ain't no senator's son. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate one. Some folks are born a silver spoon in hand. Lord, don't they help themselves? When the tax man come to their door, Lord, their house looking like a rummage sale. Sounds familiar? It ain't me, I'm no millionaire's son. That was Donald Trump. If you don't know, Donald did not create his own wealth. In fact, if he wasn't born to Fred Trump, he would have 0 wealth. He would have the most bankruptcies, I think, of any dickwad that ever lived. I don't believe that's a true stat, but he's got a lot of the things. The dickwad thing was totally true. He is one of those. Look it up in the Bible. And then he says, it ain't me, I'm no military son, which is funny. Because Donald Trump, we talked about this, he got, I don't know how many deferments, but a lot of deferments for bone spurs that were temporary. They were only bone spurs during the Vietnam War. That was it. I don't know if you know somebody who had those, but Donald would not serve the country. In fact, I think he called people suckers and losers. And he said McCain is not a war hero because he got captured. But on top of that, for all you Trump supporters, he also had bone spurs that only lasted the Vietnam War, which, I mean, those are long bone spurs, but they disappeared after. They just magically. What you see now on his ankles, those are McCankle muffin tops. That's a rare diagnosis of being so fat your weight is giving out. Gravity is winning, and it's pulling all your fat over your ankles. So that's your bill of health right there. That's this guy. That's this guy. I understand why he's friends with this guy, and I understand why both these guys were like, we have to have money, because look at them. Look at those dudes. They probably smell like old cheese, you know? He gives off like a very old cheese, and like he's been wearing those socks for one too many days vibe, you know? Like, these guys, ugh, gross. So hold on. So those were the lyrics. So John Fogerty. So now we got Eminem, John Fogerty saying it's hilarious. And by the way, John Fogerty sent to cease and desist. And this turd, who, you know, doesn't listen to anybody, so why would he listen to his voting base, still plays the song. But it's hilarious. It's, I think, the definition of irony. They even say the irony of playing it, because he's singing about this guy, and this guy, you know, doesn't understand much. Also, Neil Young just dropped a new song, Big Crime, and says Trump's America is fascist rules and billionaires thieves. I have not listened to the new song yet. I don't know if you have. Love Neil Young. Reminds me of my mom. She loved listening to that old howling wolf. That's what he's kind of like. He's like a howling wolf, or like a fox. What does a fox do? What does the fox say? Ning, 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 ning. Here's some more news. Speaking of everybody hates Trump, even his fan base, only 37% now approve of what he does. 55% who disapprove, and another 7% say they probably stopped paying attention to the news and they're just trying to survive paycheck to paycheck. Welcome, I am Rob. I'm taking you on the Rob Hood Vision Quest. We comment on the news, so hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can take this vision quest every single weekday with me. I say I'm your vibe guru. I used to say vibe coach, but I figured in the spirit of Ro Jogan of the Jogram, I think I should adapt guru, because then the people who are going to take that seriously, you know, will think it's a higher pay. It's a higher pay level. It's a bigger tax bracket when you're a guru. So many idiots. So yeah, and all these stories that we plan to talk about, link down in the description. Enjoy reading them for yourself. Let's hit some of the comments. I haven't seen many of the comments, but oh yeah, there's a bunch of perverts in here, cheering on the dude who's hiding the Epstein files. Won't answer, LOL. High speed, low drag. I just answered your LOL. Sorry, there's like a billion comments here, and I'm trying to get to them. When did you serve, Rob? I didn't. In fact, I still have the letter from the military that said you can't serve at 16 because I tried dropping out of school and enlisting in the Marines. And they said you can't. But my grandfather did, my uncle did, all of my wife's family did. But I don't know, is this like, oh, he didn't serve, so did you serve? You can't say anything? One of those retorts? Is that your high intellect? That because I didn't serve, even though, again, I tried to. I dropped out of school and I tried to go into the Marines, but you can't do that at 16, which, stupid me, I should have forged a note. Just kidding. Should not afford. Don't do that. Don't do that, folks. But I would say my actions were quite the opposite of getting deferment for bone spurs from this girl you know's dad, who's a doctor. That your bone spurs only lasted for the Vietnam War. But thanks for the dumb question, high drag, low drag, whatever the fuck your name is. With that username, you didn't serve either. Here's my thing. They didn't make America that the only people who can dissent are the ones who served. Like, ask anybody who served. They'll tell you, like, I'm serving to protect people's free speech. They're not like, I'm serving to only protect other soldiers' free speech. But that's good. We got more fascists in the chat. More dictators, as we like to say. What do we talk about? Well, let's talk about that name. What is that? Elfin? Is that name from Lord of the Rings? Pretty sure Sauron could decrypt that name, but I can't, so. Starting fires isn't free speech. Shut up, Jane. The Supreme Court disagrees with you. Pladow. Really what we should be asking you guys is, global billionaire wealth leaps, and it's fueled by U.S. gains. And when you go into this story, the great wealth transfer, which I'm sure all you maggots were concerned of, right? You guys were the ones cheering on the wealth transfer. You guys are like, I love that Fred Trump left Donald all this money. I love that these billionaires are in control. I say give them all the power. Small government. Let Peter Thiel have a corporate technocracy where we have to have Palantir open our doors and our brains to the goodness of what Palantir can bring. And it shows that generational wealth... Wait, where is it? Hold on. Sorry, down here. No, wait. It's on this one. Here it is. The majority of billionaires that accumulated their wealth in the last year did so through inheritance as opposed to entrepreneurship. This theme we expect to see more of over the next 20 years, as more than 1,000 billionaires pass an estimated $5.2 trillion onto their children. That's what you guys are voting for. You guys voted for Donald Trump, who, that's how he got his wealth. It was passed down from Fred to Donald. That's how he became wealthy. He's done nothing. Well, he's bankrupted a lot. He's failed a lot of times. And someone will say, well, how many businesses did you fail? Not as many as him, I'll tell you that. Let's just be honest. He should be in the Guinness Hall of Fame, Valhalla's records of fame for most failures of a business casino. I don't know if anyone's failed more casinos, bankrupted them, but this is what you guys voted for. You guys said, we want more billionaires that, you know how sometimes I'll say, we should have a $66 minimum wage. We shouldn't have healthcare tied to our jobs. We should just have universal healthcare paid for by our taxes, preferably billionaires' taxes. They're the ones who could afford it, while most of you talk about, sir, could you lower the price of egg for me, please? We should have billionaires, them be taxed. We have a wealth tax here in Massachusetts, and guess what happened? Every kid has free lunch at school, no more school debt. And if you want to get a bachelor's degree, you could do it for free. And that's just a millionaire's tax. It wasn't even a billionaire's tax. But most of you freak out because you think one day I'd be a billionaire, which you won't unless your parents are billionaires. In that case, you will be. That's what this is saying. And I don't know. You guys just voted for Trump and you said that billionaire, he's going to make more billionaires in this country. And he's going to cut them tax breaks. And he's going to allow them to run the country like what we're seeing right now. And you guys just worship him. And I'm here to say, stop doing that. Bad. Opposite. Thank you. We can't tax the billionaires. They need every cent they got. Think of the poor billionaires. Thank you, Lifeline. Well, that's what I was getting at. That was my point. These people that go, the billionaires earned it. And no, stupid. No billionaire can earn $1 billion. That's not how you become a billionaire. Most of them just were born. They were just born by parents that had $1 billion. And most of those parents probably got it from their parents. And their parents probably exploited a shit ton of people. We're going to talk about Chiquita banana in a minute, speaking of this. Speaking of exploitation. Don't buy bananas. But they didn't earn it. So this finally puts to rest the people who are saying they earn that money. You just want to steal it. You're no. I don't want to tax workers anymore. Tax wealth. Those are the people who can afford it, and most of those people didn't even earn it. So we should be taxing them. And there's proof in Massachusetts when you put a millionaire's tax in. Oh, by the way, no millionaires left. That was what the corporate lobbyists were saying. Oh, the millionaires are going to leave. No, guess what happened in Massachusetts after the millionaires tax? 2 years after, millionaire went up by 35%. We have more millionaires. So if you want to be a billionaire, we need to tax them. That's the only way, guys. That's just the proof. That's just history. Just history, folks. Just history. I get it. Why does my chat keep freezing? Prakar. If you can't type anything else, I'm gonna mute you till tomorrow. And I told you how to be a billionaire. We got to tax them. We got to tax billionaires to become billionaires. That's how it works. And tariffs aren't taxing the rich. You're stupid if you think that. The rich aren't going and shopping all day. They don't even know the price of egg. No rich person came out and was like, please lower the price of egg. The tariffs are the taxes on you. You think Donald Trump shops at Walmart? You think Elon Musk shops at Walmart? You think Jeff Bezos shops at Amazon? Oh, you dumb people. Muting is right as opposed to blocking. Muting means I mute you for 24 hours and then you can come back tomorrow and hopefully not text the same thing again and again and again and again. I don't know why some of you people, and I do mean you people, you bootlicking Palantir snobs, you Roganites, you Joe Grahams, want to defend these billionaires. Like, why does Joe Rogan? Well, because he's a 100 millionaire. He's a 200 millionaire. He's not like you. He doesn't have your interest in mind. He doesn't get up and go to work. He sits in an air-conditioned room talking to the FBI and all the bankers and all these people that want to disseminate toxic gas into your brain. So you're like, we can't tax them. All 400 of them are pretty good people. Bunch of dummies. Mang, thank you. See me, you. How do you think we got a middle class in the first place? 90% tax rate following World War II. Thank you. Finally, somebody knows their history. My Christ. My Christ. Do not buy bananas. Joint synergy. Thank you. Speaking of billionaires only, they can't work hard enough to be a billionaire. You should just go look up some videos on like how long it takes to earn $1 billion. Because just not understanding that, just, it reeks of stupidity. But exploiting, most of them have inherited it, and that's just the majority. That's a Swiss bank report, and I would trust the Swiss bank. They're probably holding all that money. The majority of them as opposed to entrepreneurship, they inherited their money, so they didn't work for it. I know that was like a staunch defense. You guys were like, they worked for it. And you love to say how hard your boss worked to exploit you. But the Swiss bank details differently. That most of them just inherited it. And you can tell who inherited it. You know, like Donald Trump, that guy, you can tell. He has that je ne sais creep, you know, about inheriting money. But let's talk about BanAnas. BanAnas. This shit's BanAnas. It's BanAnas. BANANAS. Banana company Chiquita lays off all its employees during strikes. Apparently, they had like 6,500 employees, right? 5,000 went on strike, and they fired them. Do not buy Chiquita banana, okay? Do not. And if you don't know about the Chiquita banana, there I put some interesting links down below. Where's my book? Where's my book? Where's my book? Here's one of my books. If you want to go full bore, I'll show it to you in a minute. My Christ. If you want to go full bore on the story that I linked down below about Chiquita Banana and how it worked with the CIA to oust presidents and install junta paramilitary groups. It's a very interesting story. I'm telling you, I could not put this book down. I could not believe the history, the real life story of how we got the word Banana Republic, because Chiquita installed their puppet, hunts it being a Banana Republic. And I included a couple links down below to this story and another law firm that did a whole blog on it. They go into a little more in depth, but they're claiming they fired the striking workers illegally. But again, you know, this is why the NLRB is very important, National Labor Relations Board. The unions in our country, which, by the way, I wanted to show you this too. Hold on. Look at this. Americans' approval of labor unions. Look at where we're at. We're almost as high as we were when, you know, this country was good with unions. But look at that. I mean, just over the past couple decades, we've shot up to 68%. And if you don't have a union at your work, organize one. You can join our Discord link down below. We have an organizing thing in there. And these banana republics, as they once called them, they were protesting, and strikes are, you know, you're right. They're how unions push for the weekend, the 8-hour workday. We just talked yesterday. You can go watch that live stream about the Working Girls of Lowell and how they were the first working women's union here in America, and they push for a maximum 10-hour workday. Unions fight for your rights. Your bosses, if unions weren't so important and weren't so dangerous to corporations, why do you think corporations spend billions to union bust? Donald Trump just put one of the top lawyers of a union busting firm as the head of the NLRB. It's disgusting what they do, and they do it because they don't want you to have rights. So it's very important to unionize. And if you buy bananas, don't buy them from Chiquita. Okay, they just fired all their striking employees, which is devastating to the community, to the people who are just pushing for better. I want you to understand something. When workers go on strike, it's a last resort. It's one of the tools in their handbag, and it's one that they pull out at the last minute. And it's usually when there's like neglect or unfair labor practices or something that companies doing that the workers say, hey, if you just fix this, like, we won't have to strike and things will be better. Like when you pay employees more, when you don't overwork them. This is just history again. Like, you can look through history. Again, I got another book I can show you. But when you look through history, when workers, like Henry Ford, when he, you know, found out that workers with the weekend off had leisure time to buy an automobile, and when they didn't cut their pay, when unions forced them to work less than 12 hours a day and not on the weekends and not lose any pay, that people had extra money to spend. Remember, the economy, all these people who say economics 101, those morons who listen to like Larry Summers, who crashed the economy. Why would you listen to that dude? Plus, he was friends with Epstein. Gross. That's like a fine line I draw, just for everybody who's new. Like, if you support an Epstein friend, we ain't cool. But whole, you know, when throughout history with cornflake capitalism and these old robber barons, when they discovered that working 5 days a week with no loss in pay resulted in less accidents, less turnover, higher profits because higher productivity, and the economy is 70% consumer purchasing power. So when people have time off and money to spend, guess what? Your business does better because they'll spend money there. So when people want to exploit workers and don't want people to have more money, it's only bad for all of us who have to live in society, not the elites who have their little secret islands they go to. Again, just we'll put this up here because you guys, I keep seeing people in the comments saying stuff about Trump, and I'm like, you support such a creepy fucking dude. Look at this guy. Dad never hugged him, so he's like, let me stick my tongue in my daughter's ear. What a fucking creep. But maybe some of you are creeps. I don't know. Listen, I have to go on what I see. And when you support a guy, like this, why isn't this an NFT? That should have been his NFT. When you support a dude like this, this guy, when you support him, I just got to think, my Christ, you got to be a creep. You got to have something wrong with you to go, I'm okay with this. You got to be. Something's not got to be there to think like he's got my best interest in mind. Him's wishing Ghislaine Maxwell well, cutting a backdoor deal, having a private meeting, not with the victims, but with Ghislaine, and then moving her to a lower security prison. That's really what I voted for. And something's wrong with you. And not enough people tell you that. That's my theory. That's my theory on it. Alrighty? But here's the book. If you want to read more about the Chiquita Banana Republic, this is the book by Naomi Klein. Can you see that? The Shock Doctrine, Rise of Disaster Capitalism. And if you would like to read about cornflake capitalism and how not exploiting workers creates a boom, not just for the economy, but for the companies, you could read this book by Dutch historian Rutger Bregman. Don't buy any of these books on Amazon, okay? That's my warning to the wise. Because Jeff Bezos, when he wore this cowboy hat, he looked so stupid. He rode this dick rocket right up to space, and I was like, finally, he's leaving. And then he came back. He came back. And that day he came back and he went on the news with this dumb cowboy hat and he said, I'd like to thank all my Amazon customers for letting me go to space. And I said, but you came back. And that was the day I said, I'm not buying from Amazon no more. So I buy my books from eBay, from small smellers, stall spellers, call pellers, Waldellers, from small sellers. Sorry, glitched. And until that day where Jeff Bezos says, I'm going to Mars with Elon. Elon has this dream to go to Mars. It's not real, by the way. Humans can't live on Mars. They would have to live like 7,000 feet underground. We could never get there in our lifetimes. So it's just this big scam to get money, our taxpayer money, from the government in contracts and subsidies. So like the whole thing's bullshit. But there are people out there, these fucking knuckleheads, they're so dumb that they're like, we're going to Mars. And it's like, you don't want to go there. Look it up. You can't live on this dusty ass planet. You would die. That one day on Mars is like 40,000 years and a night is like 74 million hours. So you don't want to go to Mars. Plus our bodies like can't handle the gravity and the dust and like all this stuff, but keep that between you and me. Don't tell the fucking dummies that are like, Elon's bringing us to Mars. Like, let them believe that shit, Like, let them have some fun. But here's the thing. So now, everybody, I'm going to address everybody again. So Elon he's like, I got this dream. I'm going to Mars. And I want people to follow their dreams. If you've subscribed and hit the notification bell, I'm a believer in following your dreams. One day I'm just going to be a catwalker, folks, because AI won't take that job. Oh, shit, they will. Okay, I got to think of another dream. and just have a dream, not a dream job. You know, what did America do to you to tack on job at the end of your dream? Like, fuck that noise. But Elon has this dream where he wants chips in brains and go to Mars. So I say, go. Put a chip in your brain. Stop doing it to the monkeys. Just do it. You want that so bad. I want you to have Google brain. Just do it. Elon, come on. Put the chip in your brain, get in your rocket, and go the fuck to Mars. Because if you do that, I'll support your companies. No two-way ticket. No comebacks. Same with Jeff. Old Jeffy Bezos. Oh, whenever I mention Jeff, he got married again. I don't know if you saw. He rented out Venice and Leonardo DiCaprio went. He rented out Venice, a fucking city, for a wedding, his second one. But I always like to, I was a best man a few times. I always like to cheers Jeff. Here's to his second messy divorce, Jeff. So for everybody you guys drinking your tea, why am I not buying banana? I'll go back into it, KZ. Don't tempt me. I will do the story again. But let me just finish this, because when this message gets to the billionaires, the ones that want to go to Mars, go. Follow your dreams. Leave Earth. I heard Mars is beautiful this time of year. Hey, everybody that I was telling you, like the human body can't survive there, don't say anything. Elon, it is gorgeous this time of year. I heard the dust is at a low and the sun is cold as shit. So this is the time of year to go to Mars, you know? I don't know how else to inspire you. Thank you. Hold the applause. Don't buy bananas. Don't do it. Because they just laid off all their striking employees. And when employees strike, they're trying to do better for the company. You know, I want you to think about this. Why would an employee strike? You know, really use your brain. They're striking because dangerous conditions. They're not paid enough. They can't afford to work. So things that only can benefit the company. That's why they strike, because they go, we need changes. We need better things. You can't just pay the Banana King all his bananas. I would assume it's King Louis. Does he own Chiquita Banana? I would assume it's some kind of orangutan. I don't know. They must love bananas. King Kong. It's probably King Kong. King Louis. I don't know. I didn't look up who the CEO was. But he just makes way too many bananas. And they're like, save some bananas for us. And they were like, no, we're firing all of you. And more than that news story, this was kind of like a news story in the news where I was like, oh, I can bring this to people's attention. Chiquita Banana worked with the CIA to install paramilitary groups. And that's why we have the term Banana Republic. And there's a great book. I suggested I give you reading. So if you've hit subscribe, you gotta do some reading. This is the reading. Oh, somebody got a 1 minute timeout. Sorry. Why do my comments keep freezing? My apologies. BR549 is 100% a bot. Yeah, there's a lot of Albanian bots, I'm guessing. The bots, the Putin bots. John Stevens, I tell my daughter they're stupid and ugly every day. I never touch them. I'm guessing you're trying to overcompensate for supporting a guy who, you know, did this. But remember, he didn't say she's beautiful. He said, what do we have in common? Sex. He said, I would be dating her if she wasn't my daughter. So, like, these aren't like, oh, he didn't call her beautiful or he called her beautiful. These are like perversions that have been normalized in America. Perversions, okay? So, not normal. I'm not going to normalize it. I'm not going to let you normalize it because America is run by Epstein's best friend. So they normalize this shit, so you overcompensate with things like that, where you're like, I just won't tell my daughter she's beautiful and never touch her. It's like, you fucking dummy. Come on. I hope that was satirical, your comment. I hope it was. Because when you say stuff like you're saying now, you can't hug your daughter, that's not what was happening. Again, stop overcompensating, and let's just address the creep in the room. Welcome to the Rob Hood Vision Quest. It's like the Joegram, except on TubeU. I'm your vibe guru. Now, I don't know if we should talk about this because this is a very, this is why they're inventing Palantir. Um, what the fuck is going on in the comments? You guys are weird, man. The Trump crowd is just, I don't know. They're everything but all right. So, listen, ABC News tonight had Luigi Mangione may have influenced mass shootings at, notice how they said Manhattan's NFL headquarters. That's what they're trying to prosecute him with. But here's the thing. If you paid attention to that NFL shooting, it wasn't really, okay? There was an executive for Blackstone's $53 billion real estate mega fund that was murked in that. So why would they charge him with an NFL headquarters thing? Or why would they want to introduce to the court that, oh, that NFL headquarters thing was influenced by him? He hoped to normalize the use of violence. Why? The NFL thing doesn't make sense. But if you consider that NFL headquarters story was actually a CEO of Blackstone who got murked, nobody from the NFL got injured. He didn't even go to the NFL's thing. Yes, I believe they were in the same building, but he didn't go to the NFL floor. Why? Now, this is where I really accuse the lamestream media of being lame. They're losers. They're covering up the corporate mouthpieces, okay? Because you can't read this story where New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the government appeared to have grievances with the NFL. Eric Adams, you appear to have grievances with the truth, like since before you were elected. I remember when they ran a story on his campaign, they were like, does he even live in New York City? You know, some say he lives in New Jersey, and the apartment he showed us was his son's house. It was like I don't remember, it was a long time ago. So like this dude who, didn't he just have corruption charges or something? I wouldn't believe anything out of his mouth. Nothing. Okay? Unless people seriously try to attempt to tell the truth, and I find them to continually lie, I don't trust a word they say. So why would ABC say this headline, the NFL headquarters, when clearly what really happened was this headline? Why would the prosecutors try to introduce this to whatever they're doing in court if it was just the NFL? Nothing happened to the NFL. But if it was this, which the lamestream media hid from you, then it makes a little more sense. But then you got to start questioning when stuff like this happens. A, will they even tell us about it? And two, when they do tell us about it, where are we getting our sources from? What is the reliable thing? Are the police trying to get ahead of the narrative and spin it in a certain way? And I'm not even sure if some of you even knew that this was the thing that had happened at the NFL thing. And by the way, the Blackstone real estate megafund is like one of the major corporate landlords in America. Let's check the comments. Blackstone is responsible for outrageous home prices. Thank you, Troy T. Wait a minute. Archaic Sage said it's not the company's fault. It's the corruption in the government. I'm not going to read anymore because do you know who makes the government corrupt? There's this term, revolving door, that they use because a lot of the people in the government, after they get out of government, they go work for companies that in turn lobby the government. So it is the company's fault. The government exists to make sure the welfare of the people it represents is good. Companies exist only for profit. They're not here to be your friend. This is the most deprogram I have to do because people think like those Coca-Cola bears really like me at Christmas. And it's like, no, they want to rip your head off because they're polar bears. And Coke only wants profit. These companies only exist for profit, nothing else. They have Wall Street's expectations to meet and they have bottom lines. And that means exploiting you and lobbying the government for less regulations. And some of you workers are even like tricked by that. But you got to understand that. You got to stop thinking the way you're thinking, because your thinking is stinking. Thank you. Hold the applause till the end. No, really. All right. Your thinking is stinking. That was pretty good. This is a dad joke. Chromatic chaos. Ooh, like the name. Yes, preach. The U.S. is a Monopoly game in the last round. That is correct. Correct for 100, Tanuki. Oh, Tanuki. Those are cute little Japanese raccoons, I believe. Almighty Cthulhu, you are an epic. Goodbye, you're full of it. Okay, if you don't like it, help us fix it. That's what I'm doing, Archaic Sage. With a name like Archaic Sage, I would expect you to, like, you know, be poisoned by the Joe Graham sphere and all of his. He's not a comedy podcast. In fact, he's state media. So, Archaic Sage. Why would you have a name like Archaic Sage and not understand one of the most basic foundational principles of business? They're not your fucking friend. They only exist for profit. Like, we had a joke in radio that was a joke when we used to go, it's called show business, man, not show friends, because it's all about the bottom line. I try to teach people on here, I try to plant little seeds that you can go on to earnings calls, especially if you're an investor, and they'll tell you that, oh, did we meet Wall Street's expectations or didn't we? And what do you think Wall Street's expectations are? It's more and more profit. It's infinite growth in a finite system. Science calls that cancer. Here, we call it capitalism. They're not your friends. So, regulations, unions, all these things I've been talking about are solutions, are powering the people to organize and take power back. So there's your solution. Who's on YouTube about profiteering? Huh? No, it was a comment. Everyone needs to ask themselves, am I concerned with fantasy predictions or real shit? Organizing your workplace is real stuff, all right? Wow, I live in Sacramento, California. Oh, by the way, where you at? Where you from? What you do? What season is it? Where you are? Rogan is fun. I don't get the hate. He's poisonous. He's tricked a lot of male alpha beta cucks, the skibbity rizmas, into thinking like, you know, he's a smart dude who just asks questions. But he's literally admitted he doesn't ask questions. He had the FBI, Cash Money Patel in, and he didn't do any pushback. In fact, when Donald Trump, who he helped elected, which is, you know, just a racist POS since the 70s, Donald Trump called him and said, hey, stop talking about the Epstein files. And have you heard anything about it since? No. So he's state propaganda. And that's poisonous. It was really poisonous. Life to Symphony. 372 people and 84 likes. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Yeah, if you want to, hit it. I never plug the like button because I don't know. I don't do this for likes, people. Hold on, let me put my Vibe Guru background on and give a Mr. Beast-esque speech. Mr. Beast is such a turd. I'm not doing it for the likes. I'm just doing it to, you know, help our communities. Remember when Mr. Beast, people thought he like cared about people? He doesn't. He only does it on film. He treats his workers like shit. But welcome to the Rob Hood Vision Quest. I'm trying to make the show more like regular show, okay? I'm trying to spruce it up on a limited budget, which is $0. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And yes, thank you to Your Life is a Symphony for Life. It was a cool name, sorry. Joe Rogan would interview Hitler and ask him about his art in the Autobahn. Thomas, yes, thank you. That is the point we're making. You know, Theo Von and Joe Rogan would interview Hitler and be like, what's it like being an artist? You know, people just don't like think about that enough, that like you're a really good artist. Like that's literally what he did with Trump. He was like, you're really funny, man. And then Trump lied to him a bunch, and he was just like, okay, sounds good. That's my guy. That's my guy. Fucking dummies. And it's sad because you got a bunch of these, these young men out here that are looking for their skibbity rizma toilet god. And they found him, and but they found him under the guise of like, oh, he's a tough, smart guy who just asks questions and is not full of himself. But the thing is he's absolutely full of himself, and he's not just asking questions. He's actually not asking questions. Really need to talk about climate change and how bad it's going to be. Thomas, I agree, but I'm not really that qualified. And if a story crosses my path, I will talk about it. My biggest thing with climate change, and I have a video that's like 7 years old, where I said, you know how it's real? Because back in college, we would get in the elevator. And, well, hold on. First, you know how it's real because the oil companies like published papers in the 70s being like, oh yeah, this is totally real, but we're going to misinform people for the next generation just so we can make more profits. But outside of that, I would always compare it to something simple, something that people could get. A very Joe Graham-esque story. I would say, well, me and my buddy Dave will get in this small rickety elevator. The elevator must have been from the 50s in college. And when you got out of class, everybody's trying to get to the elevator. Dave would always get to the back. He's this tall, skinny dude, right? Dave, I love you. If you're out there, I don't know what you're doing now. Hopefully you're alive. I've lost a lot of friends. And he would always get to the back, and as soon as them doors shut, and it would start going down, he would fart. And it was disgusting. And he did it like clockwork. And guess what? The climate in that elevator changed. It got hotter. It got stinkier. It got harder to breathe. People were panicking. And I would say, you know what? How can you believe that people could let out gases on Earth in a trapped atmosphere and things not change? Like, I've lived through it in an elevator with like 15 people. You're telling me Earth with all these people farting everywhere? I see you, okay? Them cows, them oil companies spilling into the ocean. Remember that big oil spill, BP? Remember that? And it was just like flooding the ocean. It's like, where does that go? You think it just disappears? Have you never spilt oil somewhere? Like, have you not spilt olive oil? Like, that is so hard to clean up. And they were dumping it into the ocean. And I'm like, that's got to be bad. But the worst part is like people think that like them recycling their yogurt cup or their water bottle is like making a difference when I actually had a chart. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. All right, you tricked me to talk about it. Fine, you tricked me. You got me. Hold on, is this it? Where is the meme that I had for it? I had one the other day because I wanted to mention this because it turns out the billionaires like Travis Kelce and that girl he's with that sings, I forget her name. Here's the meme. Billionaires 10-second emissions versus bottom 1% individual annual. So a billionaire's 10-second versus the rest of us are yearly. Okay? That's how many tons of billionaire releases. So when all these people, because all these people would used to, when I was in radio, they'd be like, Elon's doing EVs, he's saving the environment. I'm like, have you not seen, I've seen personal home videos of his jets explode in fucking takeoff. I'm like, that much jet fuel just exploding, I'm pretty sure cancels out all of the Cybertruck EV-ness. So again, I'm not qualified to talk about it, but I talk about it in a way that, the regular man can understand. Farting in elevators. Don't forget, Joe Rogan's helped covering up for this guy, covering up for this guy. So don't forget that, okay? Never forget. We used to say never forget for something else, but then everybody forgot. Sad place. Oh, and never forget, like, this dude's dad didn't hug him, so now he tongues his kid's ear. Gross. We should make this one, and this one should be his motorcycle NFT. Didn't he have one where he's like on a motorcycle, even though he's never gone on a motorcycle more than this? And this should be the other NFT. These should be his NFTs. Check out the street art, free DC. Love street art. So yeah, who was that said the? I'm sorry, I forgot who said the talk about the thing, the climate. Agree, Jennifer, but his point is kids and young adults idolize Joe Rogan and speak about the things from his podcast as if they are facts. That's correct. Life's a script. Thank you. Um, that's 100% correct. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is like they take his word as the holy truth, and you can even say, "Oh, well, he says don't take my word as truth," but he positions himself as an authority on shit. From his comedy sphere of horrible comics that are not funny, to his pandemic response, where when he started, he was like, "Masks make sense because doctors use them," and then he totally went off the road. It's all ego driven, and that's the other. I think my root cause of not liking him is he's ego driven. He's an maniacal maniac. And I don't think that's good for young men to see and idolize, even though a lot of them skibbity rismas are. And he disseminates so much misinformation. I mean, just look at the Epstein thing. He was calling for it. He thought it was going to happen. And then he had Cash Money Patel in. And Cash was like, "I'd tell you, bro." And he was like, "Okay, I guess the government's right." You know, a year ago, they're just so see-through. They're fake. They're obedient. Taco Bell AI. I didn't get to that. Green KC. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have to get to this story because this is like good life hack news. This is like really, really, really great stuff. You kidding me? Did I not take a picture of it? Hold on. Give me a second. 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 Oh Christ. All right, I'm just gonna have to read the story for you, okay? Because I know I have it up on my computer. And I'm pretty sure it's down below. This is from the BBC, okay? The BBC. Actually, it might not be down below. I might have just pulled this up on the computer. AI Taco Bell. Check this out. Taco Bell, I'll read the title to it. Taco Bell rethinks AI drive-thru after man orders 18,000 waters. 18,000. Not 8, not 18. 18,000 waters. Taco Bell is rethinking its use of artificial intelligence, AI, to power drive-through restaurants in the U.S. So apparently that had rolled out. I didn't hear about it, but again, all you small government fools, just know Palantir is going to rule everything with its AI chatbots and whatever. Life's going to suck because they're not going to use AI the right way. Anyways, so Taco Bell is now rethinking the use of AI to power its drive-through. So if you went to, I don't go to Taco Bell or its drive-through, but if you went and you heard like Alexa being like, "Yes, you would like to order this," now they're rethinking it because of the comical videos of the tech making mistakes. In one clip, a customer seemingly crashed the system by ordering 18,000 water cups. Listen, we just joke here. This is all jokes. Everything's a joke. Life is but a joke. I believe that was a song. But I want to share something with you. If you can crash the AI by ordering 18,000 cups of water, when the robot Palantir Skynet overlords come, this is handy information to have in the back of the old noggin. We don't need to defeat the robots, we just need to outsmart them, and we can do it by ordering 18,000 cups of water. You can send them on miscellaneous errands and just crash their systems. Are you reading this story like I am? Like I read that and I went, holy shit, I might need to go to an AI drive-through. Yeah, so like 18,000 cups of free water, please. And then while another person got increasingly angry at the AI when it repeatedly asked him to add more drinks to his order. Since 2023, the fast food chain has introduced the technology at over 500 locations in the US. But it seems AI has served up the complete opposite. He says there was, hold on, let me get to the drink. Oh, on one clip on Instagram, I'm not on Instagram, which has been viewed over 21 million times, shows a man ordering a large Mountain Dew and the AI voice continually replying, "And what will you drink with that?" And Taco Bell's defending. It says 2 million orders have been successfully processed. I say, go on with your bad self, Taco Bell, but don't get mad at me if I come through ordering 18,000 cups of water from me and my closest 18,000 friends. Can you guys hear that? Can anyone in the chat hear that? Can you hear that little sound? Whose painting is that? And do we have infant kittens right now? Chromatic chaos. Okay, you heard it. You guys can't hear it? Okay. Yeah. I'll let you have a sneak peek. Wait. I want to see the likes get up to 120. There's 200 people in here. If we get up to 120, I'll show you. I'll show you what just happened yesterday at my house. If we get up to 120 thumbs ups, 120 thumbs up, I will show you what happened at my house yesterday. Birds? No, not birds. Good guess, though. If you want to keep guessing, you can keep guessing. We're at 108, 114. We got to get snake food with technically Jerry 8-track. Technically, it could be. Chromatic chaos, already got it. But I'll let people. Chris. 115. Not showing anything, anyone. Mice. Nope. Karma happened at your house. I have PTSD from. I'm not going to say the word because we're only at 116. 223 people in here. We can't hit 4 more thummy ups. Peachy Morris. I like that name, Peachy. Rosita knows. I'm taking bets. D Party won't exist after 2028. Yeah, that's because the Democratic Party is Republican light. And the Republicans, they have no backbone, the Democrats. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I say we need a worker party, a party of the people. Raccoons. Richard Cranium, good to see you, by the way. And I wish it was raccoons. One more like and I'll show you. Come on, guys, I want to know. I'll explain Discord, Susad. Okay, yeah, please do. Okay, good. You got I shared the Discord link in the community post, and then I renewed the link because you pointed it out, Michael. Oh, it looks like we're not going to get there. We haven't hit 120 likes. So, okay, we got there. Not everyone is evil. Not everyone's out to get you. Everything's not a psyop. Good people exist. You can't expect perfection just because someone is popular. Jennifer, correct, but stop defending Joe Rogan. He is clearly taken a turn for the absolute worst. Go watch Elephant Graveyard's feature film on him. I shared it in my community, so hit subscribe and the notification bell. So yes, yesterday, I come downstairs in the morning, and hold on, and this is what I'm greeted with. This is what I'm greeted with. So that's fun. Does anybody need a cat? Look at that little black one. So cute. I'm gonna have a new familiar. Look at that one. What do you think the names? My niece said Shadow, Pumpkin, Strawberry. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely adorable. So yeah, if you hear a little, I love, my favorite thing in the world is the kitten ball. They clump into a ball. They like slink, like little slinky worms, because they don't open their eyes for 2 weeks. They just slink around. They drink milk and sleep. And when the mom comes out and hangs out or whatever, they like slink into this little ball. And this is what it looks like. And it's the most adorable thing ever. Dopey, Sleepy, Happy, Donner, Vixen, Sean the Greatest. Those are great names. So yeah, I have a ginger named Fireballs. That's funny. My kids would absolutely abuse that name though. They would be screaming it everywhere. So, gotta name the cats after their personality disorders. That's great. I still want to name one Ghost. I want to name one Fish, but my kids won't let me name anything because I want to name the dog Rabbit, the cat Fish. So yeah, if you have any, name all Black Panther. Ooh. That gave me an idea. They, Mini Penny Pep, they don't. My cats are really great. My cats are like dogs, actually. Dave Jones, that's right. F. Donald Trump. Whenever you see DJT, just so you know, if you see DJT, I believe it stands for Donald Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump. He's putting it right out there. He's showing it. He's waving it in your face. So, F this guy and F these guys. F them all. And welcome if you're new here. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live every single weekday, sometimes on the weekends, okay? And sometimes I do church on Sundays. I'm an ordained reverend. Don't worry. God qualified me online. This is the Rob Hood Vision Quest. I'm mocking Joe Rogan, if you don't know. And I'm a vibe guru. I get your vibes right. I'm a vibe shaman. Stop protecting the files. Release the files. Hey, Dave Jones, you'll like this one. The homie Bandito. DJT for DOC, 100%. They've got to put these criminals in jail. Dave, Bandito said, release the files, PHILES. But now that I say that out loud, the sad thing is he's releasing the files, the PH files, because he put Ghislaine in that, like, you know, prisonless prison. She sent her to summer camp. Yeah, I don't know who could. Jogan, the Jogram. Hi, Rob. I hope you're doing well. What's up, Tracy? Hold on. Oh, the thing goes. Yes, release the files. Too many distractions. That's what they're doing. When you see them send in the military, the National Guard, to end up just cleaning up trash, it's a distraction. He's trying to this creep is trying to stay out of the headlines. He even called Joe Rogan. He reached out to Joe Rogan and said, stop talking about the Epstein files. And have you seen Joe talk about it? No. He's probably talking to like bankers and stuff about how banking regulations are just too tight for the millionaires. You know, these billionaires really are restricted by how much they can extort from people with bank fees. We've got to stop that stuff. And then there's people listening to it like, yeah, man, I never thought about the bankers. You know, like, how are they going to get by if they're regulated, strangled by the government? And that really works for me because I love overdraft fees. And like, if I have a negative balance, they charge me even more. It totally makes sense. Life's a script. Thank you. God bless you, Life's a script. You keep showing up. You get mod status. Reminder, double tap the screen to encourage engagement. Maybe I've licked Desklia. Subscribe to be recommended the channel again. Life's a script is a pro. You must be a pro at this. The horses are Joe, Grizzly, Pippa, Honey, Harley, and Quinn. Ooh, Harley and Quinn. Those are good names. I like that. Release the Ashley Madison accounts. Do you guys remember the Panama Papers? I'm old enough to remember that, and nothing happened. Nobody likes Trump and what he's doing for the USA, okay? We already talked about this. Come on, don't play dumb. Do not. Stop playing dumb. Stop playing dumb. John Fogerty doesn't like Trump. Neil Young doesn't like Trump. Where's the other thing? Gavin Newsom doesn't like Trump. Bernie Sanders doesn't like Trump, but where's the story? Where's the story? Hold on, where's the story? Where is, hold on, it might be back. I have too many photos of cats. Well, anyways, there was polling that Donald Trump hit a record low. I was trying to show you the polling. Donald Trump hit a record low of 37%, so only 37% of people like Trump. So you're wrong. The majority of people do not like him. They disapprove of him. They do not like him. Just so you know. And I know I had it somewhere. Oh, here's the other thing I want to talk about. I don't know if you like Jack White. I love his music, White Stripes. What's his other, The Dead Leaves, I believe is his other band. And Jack White does not like Trump. The White House meltdown when Jack White called the disgusting Gold House vulgar because they redecorated it. His polling numbers are up. Dan Cooper, that is not true. In fact, the story I have right here. Hold on. The Hill. Here it is. Trump's approval rating hits record low of second term poll from 828 in the year of our Lord 2025. We went over this earlier though, so I have it in there somewhere, but everything got messed up. But I wanted to show you guys this stuff because this is great by Jack White. He said, listen, I'm an artist, not a politician, so I'm in no need to give my answer or opinion on anything if I'm not inspired or compelled. But it's funny that it isn't me calling out Trump's blatant fascist manipulation of government, his Gestapo ICE tactics, his racist remarks, his ridiculous wall, attacks on the disabled, attempted coup, mob insurrection, destruction of sacred halls of Congress, disparaging sexist and pedo remarks about women, his obvious attempts at distraction about being close personal friend to Epstein, and the inclusion of the files, his ignorance about dying children in Sudan, Gaza, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, dismantle healthcare, his obvious wimpy and pathetic kowtowing to the dictators Putin, Kim Jong-un, his Nazi rallies, his attempts to sell merch and products like Goya beans through the office of the president, his fake wound to the ear that showed no medical records or photographs of his constant lying to the American people. And this is Jack White's response. So I highly encourage you to look it up. It goes on. It is very long. And we need more people like Neil Young, John Fogerty, Eminem, Jack White, who else? Robbie Roadsteamer, all the legends to come out and keep talking about this. Because this creep, Randy Marsh. I didn't get to see Jack Black, the Satanist. Do you not know who Jack Black is or Jack White? The Racketeers. Thank you, Sean the Great-ish. Nobody loves Trump. Ivan, with a name like that, you're papooing him. But yeah, nobody does. In fact, the majority of people don't. It's just, I went over this the other day on the live stream. The people that do love Trump are so loud. They love to bark, chirp, wear presidential merch. So stupid. So stupid. They love to wear shirts and have pictures and images of this guy's head on another guy's body. So they're so obscene and just over the top with their love that they think like, oh, we all love him. But really, the polling, the Hill, you can read it. He's at a record low. Most people hate him. And I'm not even mentioning outside of America. The joke really is people who support this guy and protect him and all of the people that he was doing it with. Him, Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, all them pervs. Paul, I'm going to put you in a little timeout because your mama didn't raise you right. It kills me how working class MAGA Republicans can cry about prices, almost everything, then vote for an administration of 14 billionaires who dismantle their institution and checks and balances. I couldn't have said it better myself. Antisocial atheist, 100%. They voted for billionaires to rule. Billionaires who are deregulating everything, stripping workers of their rights, taxing the working class, raising tariffs, taxing the people through tariffs, making enemies with Canada, all these nations that we've had great relationships with, just absolutely making a mockery of the seat of the president by hawking whatever and whatever, from Goya beans to Tesla to shit coins, meme coins to NFTs to it's just obscene, and these people will still chirp all day long. And all of that was irrelevant because his best friendship with this disqualifies that man from everything. And the other thing about his administration is they like to go after woke and Harvard and higher learning. But if you look up, I think Donald Trump's administration has like a ton of Harvard alumni in it. So it's kind of funny, that they bank on people not knowing and being so stupid. Well, I mean, if you can believe that he said, I'm going to release the files, they ran a whole campaign on it. Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz were all like, oh, he's going to release the files, and then he became president. Has nothing obscuring him, nothing stopping him. Cash Money Patel is the FBI director with Dan Vagina. Like, they have nothing stopping them. And they're like, guys, the files don't exist. Like, you have to be supreme stupid to like not go, oh, this is fucking tapped. Like, they're a bunch of liars. They're covering for this dude because he's all over the files. So like, you got to be a supreme kind of stupid. It's an American kind of stupid. It's that American exceptionalism. Absolutely. All the baby kitties are sleeping. Oh, and the stupidity just comes hard and fast, man. Just like Trump did to your brain, hard and fast. He throws so much at it, you can't take it. Yeah, American special stupid comes with the side of ranch. It 100% does, and it's deep fried. It's a deep fried Oreo with the side of ranch. Yeah. Well, you gotta love the Christians that support this guy, where it's like, you mean the guy that cheated on all his wives and paid a porn star? They're one issue voters, and that issue is they're hateful. They want other people to suffer so they can feel good. That's it. That's their issue. Blue cheese. It's funny. Some of these people are so dumb in the Loopy After Dark. Love the name. Thank you for subbing. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm here every single weekend and sometimes on the weekends. Thank you. Yes, sometimes on the weekends. Appreciate that.
Say what?
Yeah, on the weekends sometimes. I do church on Sunday sometimes.
Say what?
Yeah, but don't tell anybody, okay?
Say what?
Every single weekday. It's the Rob Hood Vision Quest. I want to show you guys this one more time because this is such a fascinating story. I don't know if it's real or not. I seen it on Reddit, but I wanted to share it with you because that is genius, That is genius. We need more people. Have you even said thank you for how horrible America is? This is what I was getting at. The Rob Hood Vision Quest. Amen. Chromatic Chaos, church, evil. Oh, you've been to the wrong church then. I've been kicked out of the Catholic Church. Remember, I'm a vibe guru, so my church is radical. It's the Church of Radical Communion. Oh, wait, hold on. There's somebody saying something stupid. Dan Cooper. Where do democratic policies work? What state or cities? Well, stupid Dan Cooper. Thanks for being new here. I'm glad if you don't subscribe. Here in Massachusetts, we're democratically run. And I talk about this often because more people need to know about this. We instituted in 2022 a millionaire's tax. And people like you, corporate bootlickers, said all the millionaires will go away. In fact, the billionaire families in Massachusetts lobbied hard against it. And I've talked about it on my live here. Because I was really, really for this, right? Or I might not have been doing it live at the time, but I know I made videos and I talked about it on my podcast. So Dan, we passed the millionaire's tax. Just a millionaire's, not even a billionaire's tax. If I really had it democratically, I would democratically overrun the nation with a billionaire's tax, where we tax them into extinction. They just have to be millionaires, 999 millionaires. They can't be billionaires anymore. And guess what, Dan? Talking to you. Here in Massachusetts, after we implemented that democratic millionaires tax, not only did the millionaires not leave, but they grew by 35%. We got more millionaires. And guess what the great thing about it was? Because that was like the who gives a shit. But thankfully, they can pay more taxes. But the great thing was every kid in Massachusetts can get school lunch and breakfast for free. There's no more school debt. Every kid eats for free. No kid will be hungry in school. That is amazing. Because if you've ever been a kid and you've ever been hungry, you know you can't learn. That's like impossible. So it's very good. Every kid in Massachusetts, because of the millionaire's tax, a democratic policy that got implemented by the people here in Massachusetts, like you asked, dum dum. And also, if you want to get a bachelor's degree and you don't have one and you're an adult in Massachusetts, you can go to community college and get it for free. And you say, for free? Well, yeah, by the millionaire's tax. So if you want to be a millionaire, the proof is in the pudding. It's in real life. We put in a millionaire's tax and more millionaires. So if you want to be a millionaire, you got to tax them. But thanks for the dumb question, Matt. It let me, or Dan, or whatever generic white guy name it is, because it let me talk about that, even though I probably mentioned it like, Christ, 4 times on this live stream. Double tap the screen, people. Thank you, Paul. Oh, what's up from Lakeville? Lakeville, one of the only, I think there was like 10 towns that 55% voted for Trump. Very disappointed. But I know there's another 45% that didn't. I can't wait to go to Portland, CJ. Massachusetts is a sweet bubble. I just wish that the left, blue city here, they would go lobby after dark. Massachusetts is a big state. It's great for y'all. Yes, it is. But it's great for the kids. I mean, when you say you want to make America better, I think, well, kids don't go hungry. There's no homeless people. They're not criminalized, but they're given homes. We can be the best educated, the most educated, the freely educated. We have the longest lifespan. Instead of paying more for healthcare and our life expectancy going down, I imagine we pay nothing because our taxes or billionaires' taxes pay for it and our lifespan goes up. That's what I think makes it great. But some people think like, chasing down people in Home Depot parking lot and spending our taxes on more prisons makes it great. Fucking dummies. So yeah, so just so you guys know, when you say what democratic policies work, I'm living proof. I help vote for it. I help push it. A millionaire's tax makes more millionaires. Kids don't go hungry, and you can get a free college education. So isn't that amazing? Cameron, oh, again, I already told you, that was the scare tactic. You're literally saying what the corporate lobbyists, what the bootlickers and the billionaires were saying. What happens when they leave? And what happened is they don't want to leave. Here was my retort, though. I didn't know what was going to happen over the next 2 years, that millionaires in Massachusetts would grow by 35%. I didn't know that. But when they would say, what if they all leave? I said, good, get them the fuck out. This state is beautiful. I love Cape Cod. And I love the coast, and it's destroyed by the people who jack up the home prices because they want to buy a bunch of homes and turn them into Airbnbs. So I say, if you want to get out of our beautiful state, don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out. See you later. You don't even create good paying jobs. That's how you became million and billionaires, because you exploit people. So go to New Hampshire, go wherever the fuck there isn't a tax, go buy. And they didn't leave. That's the thing, Cameron. I wanted them to leave. I said, get the fuck out of our beautiful state. You're ruining it. You're exploiting people and you're acting like you know everything because you're money. America has this equation like rich means smart. And look at Elon Musk. He couldn't be any fucking dumber. Look at Joe Rogan. He's rich and he's stupid as shit. Oh my God. But people are tricked. They think, well, he's got a lot of money. He's got to be smart. Even when he's showing you, he's like a peacock of stupid. He's putting out his plumage of feathers right in front of you saying, look at how dumb I am. And you go, well, it couldn't be. Or maybe he's just, my feelings overrule any kind of truth. So Cameron, I wish they left. I wish. That's what I was want. I would say, we're going to implement this and then they're all going to leave and we're going to have it to ourselves again, and they stayed. And then more of them happened. More of them. So Cameron, there's your answer. If you want to be a millionaire because you're a bootlicker for them, you know what you got to do? You got to tax them. You got to tax them. Tax wealth, not work. Gary's Economics, video down below. I'm missing some of the... I'm a Seahawks fan. Vikings fan. I'm not an NFL fan anymore. Preach. Yeah, MF Noir. Ooh, that's a cool name. Tax the rich. Here's the saying. Not created by me, but I plant the seed. You say tax wealth, not work. Tax wealth, not work. Please, I encourage you, watch Gary's Economics. And for those of you who are still defending the Jogan, the Joe Graham, watch Elephant Graveyard. I shared it in my community. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. America has a weird relationship with professional children's games. Michael O, you could. It's not only a weird relationship with professional children's games, but it's also like how they treat everything. Americans treat politics like a football game. That's why you hear dunking on the libs, because they just want their team to win. They don't care if their team's practices take away or their team implements things that take away their own health care and make them suffer. They just want to be on the winning team. Like, America has poisoned through propaganda your mind that winning is everything. That's why they say winning, like winning is just the stupidest fucking thing you could say, and it's like a catchphrase. Oh, it's a catchphrase said by morons to hearken other morons to the call, like lemmings. They should all be let off a fucking a cliff, a long walk off a short pier, as we say in Massachusetts. What a Barca loungers. Barca lounger? I don't know what that is. Yeah, anti-socialist atheist. Paul cannot define socialism. I saw that comment too, and I'm like, he's such a moron. Social. I try to, when I teach my kids, socialism is a social good. It's a social power. It's workers reaping the fruits of their labor. So usually their labor creates a lot of wealth and it gets concentrated at the top. But the workers who make everything get that wealth. But it's okay. They're stupid people who think when Donald Trump says radical woke left and socialism, those are just very scary words that I need to be scared of. And that's why I say, and put on my thumbnail, I drink fascist tears. Usually they're crying because they're so stupid that they don't understand things. But yeah, socialism is the workers. But you probably don't like the fire department or Social Security or, anything besides your boot licking for your boss. Be fresh. Thank you. I do have a great YouTube channel. I don't know if you tried to mean that as a diss, but I love my community. If you've hit subscribe, especially in the past couple months where we've grown, we've doubled the channel, I'm very grateful. I do this for the love, because we got to build community right now. It's very important, because you see all these idiots in the comments talking about the same president elected again for a third time. Like, these people are truly morons. They're anti-American. They are fascists. When they call us Antifa, you say, yes, my grandfather, well, if yours wasn't, but my grandfather was Antifa. He fought fascists. He was anti-fascist. When they call you soy, whatever, you call them fascist lactates. We are going to fight back against this shit. We are tired of the racism, the homophobia, the transphobia, the misogyny, the exploiting the workers, the bootlicking for the billionaires, the state propaganda. We are tired of all of it. So welcome if you've hit subscribe and joined. Let's see, for all you guys talking about workers, talking shit about workers, when most likely you just came from your 9-to-5, which is fucking hilarious. You would defend your bosses and the people who are making money off of you. Again, I don't understand you, but let's see the bosses do the work. Go have your CEO. Did he even punch in today? Have him come down and do it all for you, right? If the workers are so irrelevant. It's amazing to me that people who work for a fucking living, well, shit, they are traitors to the working class. Mark these people the fuck out, man. Anti-fascist equals Antifa. That's right. But CJ, some people don't know that. They literally don't know the rest of the word. Oh. Fascism hasn't worked. Thank you, Cloud. Flogo. Flow grown? What does that mean? How do you think most of the bosses got to become bosses? Well, Flow grown, glad you asked. The AFL-CIO's website down below is the CEO pay tracker. And if you know, Starbucks makes 6,666 times its median worker. And he didn't start at the bottom. They just hired him not even a year ago. And he started off with $100 million contract. So not all bosses start. In fact, a lot of these CEOs, free Luigi that we're talking about, didn't work their way up. They're mostly Nepo. They're this corporate communist Nepo baby that were white, educated with a business degree, and just came in. And it didn't matter if they failed the company or not. They get a golden parachute when they leave, and they get 100 million. The CEO of Starbucks makes more than the CEO of Google, and he just started. He's a new hire. Okay, so thanks for pointing out that. Thank you, Bandito. That guy's keyboard must have been broken. He was on glitch mode, just saying stupid stuff again and again. It worked until Mussolini went to the gas station. Damn. Old cranium. Old cranium. I'm not reading that comment, but that's hilarious. It's the fucking comment of the day. Oh my god, hold on.
Say what?
That's what I give that comment, Sean. I hope you hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can come back, because that was funny. CEOs never worked their way from dishwasher to the top. Daddy sends them to Yale, and then they got a job through a connection. Kenneth, you couldn't have said it better. And if you don't believe me, Gary's Economics. I linked his YouTube channel video down below. Go watch him. He was a big stock trader, and he talks about this exact story. He came from nothing, and he said most of these people were trained to just be CEOs, stock traders, highfalutin businessmen. They're not trained to be dishwashers and work their way up. They are born and bred that way. And I'm saying bred that way because that's what it is. They're just these upper elites that have tricked you to think Donald Pumpkin Tits works for you, but really he works for us. And Donald even said that back in like the 90s. He said, if I need a favor from a politician, I donate to him, and guess what, I get a favor. That's how it works. So that's why I'm here trying to plant these seeds, not letting you, that's why I say I'm your vibe coach, man, because I don't want you going in public looking this stupid. I know in your Joe Rogan friend circle, your Joe Graham with Brendan Schwab and who else is friends with him? There's a couple different people, Andrew Schultz and Kilt Oni, that Kilt guy, all those morons. You know, you might get a chuckle out of them, but that's just because you're being cruel. And they'll overlook the stupidity if you're cruel enough. They just like cruelty, like Donald. If you're mean enough, unless to Ghislaine Maxwell, that broad, he's not cruel to her. He wished her well when she was in prison. He moved her to a camp. But everybody else, he's very cruel to. So they'll overlook that, but I'm trying to teach you, don't say this shit in public because you sound dumb. And please, if you're a worker, stop defending the CEOs. Like, don't. Cut it out. Organize your work. Start a union. Oh my God, anti-socialist atheist. I had to look at the book I picked up a few moments back. It's Trader from Britain. Came from essentially nothing. Anti-socialist, that's Gary's book. I haven't been able to purchase it yet because it just came out. And I buy stuff on eBay. So when it comes out, it's top dollar. But you have his book, I believe. It's a good story, but insight on these rich, greedy people. His name is Gary. He does Gary's Economics. I forget the name of the book, but you're correct. And I want to get it so bad. So bad. Yeah, CJ and Bandito, I'm very grateful for both of you. I know you have a job cut out for you. Gary Stevens, yes, that's his name. An antisocial atheist, if you've finished or haven't finished his book, I always link his videos in my description. When this is done, click on it and go watch him. Go subscribe to his channel. He's amazing. He is leading a charge in Britain. He's leading a movement, a virtual movement. That's the link I have below, that he talks about how we can take power back, how we can take control back. And I try to advocate and advertise for everybody to check out Gary's Economics. That's why I will always have his videos linked down below, because he is speaking, not only is speaking to, you know, the choir right now because everybody's looking for a solution, but he also talks about it in ways that we can fix things, and he's seen the inside, you know, so he's legit. All right, guys. Hold on. Gary Stevens. Isn't that a plain white guy's name? Yes, it is, Mike. The tax exempt church. Tax all the churches. Tax them all. I have to subscribe if I'm not already. Yeah, please find Gary's Economics and subscribe. And then take a moment to hit this little button and the notification bell. He's also more than happy not to be a billionaire. One of the few non-billionaires running a company worth more than a few billion. Who, Gary? I don't know. Troy, love the content. I love your content that you contributed in comment form. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hopefully, Troy, you hit subscribe and notification bell. I got to wrap it up. I got some kittens to check on. Did you see? When they get a little bigger, I'll show you guys on the live stream, okay? When they get a little bigger. They're little babies right now, all sleeping. All sleeping. I'll show you the kitten ball. The kitten ball is my favorite. When they hurtle up into a little ball. Look at that. Look at that. That's the kitten ball. The kitten ball. Life's a script. Life's a script. Please come back, because if you come back enough, we'll make you a mod. And I know CJ and Bandito are like, please, we need help. There's so many bots. So many simps for the Epstein best friend. Life's a script says, reminder, double tap the screen, help Rob get more viewers, subscribe to be recommended this channel again in the future. I was on my own rant. Okay, Michael. Well, Michael, thank you for stopping by too. Troy, appreciate you. Been subbed, appreciate you. Paul, have a good one. Kiss the kitties for you. I will. I love these little kitties. Talking about your channel. Oh, antisocial. Yes, please subscribe to my channel. I'm very bad at this. I've been YouTubing for a long time, and it's more important sometimes for me to get Gary's word out than my own. But I love doing this. Sean, thank you. Great comment, by the way. Comment of the fucking night. I didn't read it. And if you want to know what it is and you're watching this later, you're going to have to scroll through the comments. But it was again, it was the... best comment of the night. Thank you. That was so great. So funny. Love antisocial atheists. Me too. Much love to you. Taja. Oh, you're a skibbity rizma, beta cuck simp for the Epstein best friend. Oh. I always ignore the haters. Well, sometimes I address them because I got to just show them. Sometimes if you hold a mirror up to their stupidity, they'll think it's gorgeous. Peace out. Oh, man, I forgot you were here. I'm so sorry. I hadn't seen your comments in a while. Thank you to all the fam. To everybody who's subscribed, hit the notification bell. Doug McDougal, who are you? I just walked in. Well, hit subscribe. You're coming in at the end, but I'm a Antifa. I'm an anti-fascist, leftist, radical, woke mob that all the Republicans warn you about, because I don't want you to ever have to call an Uber instead of an ambulance. I want a minimum wage where you can have many times of recreation, paid parental leave, healthcare paid for by billionaires' taxes. If we have to pay it with our own, we can. And to uproot this whole system. Free Luigi. That's who I am. I'm Rob, and this is my ball of kittens. I love them. They're adorable. Peachy, subscribed. Appreciate you. Hold up a mirror to yourself. I do, NC. Every night before bed, I put on Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and I take it literally, and I stand there in front of the mirror, and I say, I got to start with Man in the Mirror. And I encourage you to, too, because you have bad comments. You have bad opinions. You have the wrong opinions. Your teachers and your friends and your loved ones all fed you with hate. You think suffering of other people, Home Depot workers, is somehow going to make your life better. Well, guess what? No illegal immigrant has ever held a mass layoff. But the corporate leaders, Donald Trump, he made a whole career off. You're fired. So you really want to focus on the right enemy here. And I'm trying to teach you. That's why I say I'm your vibe coach. So stop being stupid, okay? You could come back too, NC. I'm planting seeds, okay? Little kitten seeds. I'm planting seeds. I don't want you to be stupid, you know, and some of you are, but it's okay. We'll get educated together. I'm not the know-it-all. I'm just a guy asking questions. This is a vision quest. I'm your vibe guru, okay? I'm just asking questions. Free Luigi. Free Luigi. You're my kind of people. That's what we need. We need more of these kinds of people. The people that say, I'm fucking done hearing about people calling Uber instead of ambulances. I'm done with my doctor saying, you need this. And then insurance saying, no, you don't. And you go, what fucking doctor degree do you have? And then the AI glitches because it was AI the whole time denying you. You know, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with the homeowners being older and older and older in every generation, and somehow people thinking a billionaire who used to fire people is the solution. A guy that was Epstein's best friend who's all over the files is going to make them. Done with the people telling me they care about crime and they elected a felon. You are the definition of hypocrisy. Bon, they do normalize shaming women, and it's absolutely disgusting. They fetishize them, they shame them, they objectify them, and I've had it. I'm a child of the 90s where Kurt Cobain and Tupac, you know, wrote songs like Rape Me, like Dear Mama, and what's the other Tupac song? Keep Your Head Up. There's another one. What's the one about the kid? Sorry, I'm blanking. Prince, forever. Keep on keeping on with it. LCM, the Hawkeye. We need you. We need you. We need everybody in here that thinks this world can be better and not in the way of building more prisons with taxpayer money that need to just be shut down. That's wasting money on National Guard, wasting our military, invading our towns to only clean up trash. We need people that think this world can be better, have an idea for it, know how to implement it. There are many ways, and we'll go over that next time. Brenda's got a baby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's it. I kept thinking Stacy's mom has got a baby. I was getting the wires mixed up. Go watch Elephant Graveyard. Elephant Graveyard's thing on Joe Rogan is a feature film. It's absolutely amazing. Just type in Elephant Graveyard. It should pop up. Go watch Gary's Economics because I got to wrap this up. CJ and Bandito, much love. So much thanks to you. The little kittens are crying. Stop doing that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Much. Oh, no, it froze. My thing's frozen. All eyes on me. This is a good one.